I'm Antonio. I'm working right now improving and adding more functionality into Kubo, also known as GoIPFS. And I'm going to talk about Reframe Protocol and delegated routing. So this is the agenda for my talk. I will try to make it quick. So we are going to talk about what is Reframe for, specifications, and some of the Reframe implementations that are already working. So we did some previous work to try to face this problem using these two projects. But the main problem was that they were highly coupled with Kubo. So you need basically a Kubo node to make them work because you needed the API and implement a lot of small things to make it work. So after that, we thought about a new protocol that is really simple. Reframe is a request response protocol. So server and client working and talking together. It's extensible, so you can add more. You can change or add more into the specifications to use different transports and serialization protocols. Right now, we are covering only HTTP and JSON DAGs as serialization and HTTP for transport, but more to come. And you are welcome to add your own specs into our specs repository if you have some ideas or some use cases for different transports and serialization. And it can implement different method types. So right now we have find providers, get IPNS, put IPNS, because we want to try to do some content routing using Reframe. But the idea is that you can use Reframe for any other use case that you have implemented these methods. So right now, the main use case, as I said, is the content discovery, but it's an open protocol, so you can use this for any other use cases, as you can use Reframe to point to a BitTorrent network addresses. You can provide some verifiable HTTP downloads, or you can create a private network with content providers using this protocol. So right now we have covered into the specs these methods. To identify, it's a way to say from the server to say to the client, okay, I support this, this, and that. So after that, this is like the main method that to put all in the same page, the client and the server. Then we have the find providers that is able to find providers via CID, and then we have the get IPNS to get some IPNS records, and the put IPNS to put records into the server. So we have a specification. So you can go there, you can read them, you can see what's wrong, what you can improve, do any pull request, anything that you can implement it also if you want. And we have several Reframe implementations. The first one is a Go delegated routing. That is basically a library that is used in our clients and servers. So this is implementing, as I said, the client and the server part of the Reframe protocol. Store the index, it's, as we said before in previous slides, it's a server of the Reframe protocol, so any client can connect directly to it and get information from all the index that is storing. Hydra Booster is a client for the store the index, so Hydra is this DHT node that is able to improve the DHT performance on the IPFS network, and is connecting to the store the index servers using Reframe. Some guys an experiment, and basically it's a way to delegate routing to other services using the Reframe API. So basically right now it's implementing DHT and store the index under the hood, so you can talk with the server using the Reframe protocol, and then it's querying all these routing systems under the hood. And Kubo, we did in the last release candidate, we added support for reframe routing, and you can try it now if you want, using this configuration to connect to the store the index servers. And here we have some demos. So here we check the version of IPFS, or Kubo in this case. And then this is the standard configuration, is using the DHT for routing system. So here we can see DHT working for some testing CIDs. Another example here. And then we remove the DHT routing system from the configuration, and then we add the reframe endpoint here, and then we restart the Kubo daemon. And now this is the final configuration, so we are not using at all the DHT right now. We are only using the reframe endpoint. So here we can see that we are getting some peers IDs, and everything is working. So you can test it right now if you want, going to the Kubo repository. And here is another example using some guy that is this reframe server, but instead of using the DHT and the store the index under the hood, I just hard-coded some peers IDs to see how simple it is and how easy you can you can create your own provider. So here is the same example as before. It's basically using the DHT. It's Kubo using the DHT. Here I add my custom reframe node that is running locally. Then here is the final configuration. So we are using both. We are using DHT and our local reframe server. So we use this example CID, and here is my random or hard-coded peer ID, and it's all mixes, all results are coming from the DHT and from our reframe server. So I think that's all. Okay, thank you.